It wasn't until going to therapy I realized that there was multiple situations different that attributed to my abuse and my trauma, and kind of, you know, made me this person I am today. You know, the good and the bad and everything that goes along with it is rolled up. But I felt like I need to talk to somebody who does this and who has seen this type of thing. And I don't think we focus so much on the trauma at first, because my therapist first said, "Well, you got a sex addiction," and I didn't know what that meant. I was like, "Sex addiction? Like, what's that? Like, yeah, I like to have sex, but like, what do you mean?" She's like, "Well," she's like, "I don't mean physically have sex, but you have an addiction to, like, you know, the pornography, where I would spend 20 minutes a day, you know, into pornography and watching that to self-soothe." I didn't know that I was self-soothing at the beginning, but as I went through the process, I realized that, you know what, that's what I'm doing. You know, the covers were peeled back, and I saw what I was doing. But the whole sex addiction part, it kind of threw me off, actually, because I was like, well, I like sex, but not, I didn't know. When you say sex addiction to somebody, most people think you're going and just wanting to have sex. And she explained to me, well, it's bigger. It's a lot of stuff falls under that. And when more we talked about it, I understood. But I knew I needed to talk to somebody who did this. The hardest part for me in therapy was when the therapist said, I was telling her my story, my first therapist, and she was tough. She was good. She was tough. And she said, "Where were your parents?" And I said, "I don't know." And she said, "They didn't protect you." And I cried like a baby. And I was like, man, that was huge and it was hard. But from that point, I think I was like, man, you know what? She's right. I said, as rough and hard as it sounds, like, yeah, they didn't protect me. They didn't protect us, any of us. And that's when I started to get more and more like okay with, honey, I'm feeling this way about, I've got this anxious, you know, I went from after therapy every day, I need to go get a drink. That's how hard it was. I need a beer. To now after therapy, I'm good. I might go and I cry, but I don't need to go and self-medicate, you know. I don't need to go watch porn when I get stressed, you know. I don't, because I was using all these other things, alcohol, pornography, getting all these feels from other places other than, you know. And I think, and it was a learning curve for her as well to figure out how we interact and how she can help me. Because for anybody, I think your spouse or family member, they're going to be like, you know, oh, that's a lot, you know. But she's been really one of my most vocal supporters.